tournament to let people know how good we are and remind everybody what a great sport this is. I don't know.
Ah, the 90s, a magical time. Saturday mornings meant one thing, cartoons. Whether you were watching Rugrats or X-Men, life was good. But not every show was a classic. Some were so bad you probably blocked them out of your memory.
On Bennett, individual has been spotted heading toward I-18.
Nothing out there but the old nuke plant.
Let's blast!
Today, we're digging up those forgotten disasters and roasting the absolute worst cartoons that 90s TV ever inflicted on us. So grab your Dunkaroos, throw on your favorite Goosebumps shirt, and get ready for a nostalgic trip down what the fuck lane because these cartoons were trash. Remember MC Hammer? Yeah, he was everywhere in the early 90s until they turned him into Hammerman, a superhero with magic dancing shoes. I wish I was making this up. Picture this. A guy in parachute pants fighting crime by busting out some dance moves. Sounds awful? It was.
No big deal. It was easy.
Look, it's Hammerman! Hi, Hammerman. Can you hang with us a while?
Afraid not, Jody. I got something real serious to take care of.
If you were a 90s kid, you probably remember MC Hammer being cool, but this show, it was the opposite. Terrible animation, worse dialogue, and even worse plots. It was like watching someone try to teach you how to dance while solving crimes. Spoiler, no one was dancing. Hammerman only lasted 13 episodes before the networks mercifully pulled the plug. It felt like it should have been canceled after the theme song. Yeah, that bad. If you ever wanted to see what happens when someone tries to turn a music career into a superhero show, here's your answer. Now, we all love Tex Avery, the guy behind some of the greatest cartoons ever made. So when the Wacky World of Tex Avery hit the scene in 1997, you'd think it would have been a hit, right? Wrong. It was a sad attempt to revive that old-school slapstick magic. But instead of laughs, it gave us forced gags and characters that no one cared about. This wasn't the Tex Avery you grew up watching with your Saturday morning cereal. No Bugs Bunny, no Droopy, just a bunch of random new characters that felt like knockoffs of something better. It's like they took everything you loved from classic cartoons, threw it in a blender, and hit ruined childhood. The Wacky World of Tex Avery might have made it to 65 episodes, but let's be real, not many of us stuck around to see the end. It was a flop in almost every sense, leaving us with nothing but a confused memory of, what the heck was that? Right, 90s kids, buckle up for this one. Street Sharks. Leave a comment if you still remember this one. If you don't remember it, don't worry. Your brain is probably just protecting you. Imagine a show about 4 teenage brothers who turn into giant, muscled-up sharks and then proceed to fight crime. Because, of course, that's what mutated sharks would do. Street Sharks aired from 1994 to 1997, and let's be honest, it was a blatant attempt to cash in on the success of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They were like, hey, what if instead of turtles we did sharks? Bigger, more muscular sharks. And boom, Street Sharks was born. While it did have some hardcore fans, the animation and writing were a far cry from the quality we loved in the 90s, and it became one of those shows you only remember because of the action figures.
More attacks, more tragedies.
I'll show him a tragedy.
Before you hurt anyone else.
That lying lowlife.
You bottom feeder.
You're going down. Oops. Sorry.
Guys, you gotta get a handle on this thing with the TV.
It lasted a solid 40 episodes, but that's mostly because the toy line was a huge hit with kids. You know you had one of those chomping shark toys. But looking back, this show was all muscle and no substance. It's safe to say Street Sharks swam right into the depths of 90s cartoon obscurity, and honestly, it should stay there. Now, let's talk about Mega Babies. a show that was straight up gross. If you thought Ren and Stimpy pushed the boundaries of weird, Mega Babies took it to a whole new level, except it didn't even try to be clever about it. The premise? 3 superpowered, diaper-wearing babies battling aliens and monsters. But instead of laughs, you just got boogers, spit, and dirty diapers. Mega Babies hit the air in 1999 and was basically 22 minutes of bodily fluids and bad jokes. The animation was hideous, the humor was non-existent, and every episode felt like an assault on your senses. It somehow lasted 2 seasons before being flushed away like the mess it was. Watching Mega Babies is like being stuck in a fever dream where everything is sticky. If you were unlucky enough to sit through an episode, you know exactly what I mean. Thank God it didn't survive into the 2000s. We all deserved better. You ever play a video game and think, hey, this should totally be a cartoon? Well, that's what someone thought when they turned Double Dragon into an animated series. But what we got wasn't the awesome martial arts beat-em-up from the arcade. Nope, we got a half-baked show with cheesy one-liners, bad animation, and a plot that made 0 sense.
You! And him! What's he?
Relax, Marion. He's on our side.
Double Dragon hit TV screens in 1993, and let's just say it fell flat.
It's the mark of the Double Dragon.
The show tried to cash in on the popularity of the video game, but instead of the high-energy action we loved, we got whatever this was. The characters were bland, the fight scenes were slow, and the writing was about as sharp as a butter knife.
Watch out, Billy!
It somehow limped through 26 episodes before it got canceled, and honestly, we were all better off for it.
What is this, the cavalry to the rescue?
Watch my back.
Sometimes it's best to leave things in the arcade where they belong. Double Dragon? Yeah, it should have stayed there.
May the luck of the dragons be with you.
Thanks.
So there you have it, some of the worst cartoons from the 90s. It wasn't all Nicktoons and Batman, the animated series.
Don't you dare, Lefty. I've had enough of your kind of help.
For every classic, there were a few duds like Hammerman or Mega Babies that made us question everything. And hey, let's give a shout out to all the networks that pulled the plug before these disasters could do any more damage. If you survived this nostalgic trip down cartoon hell, let me know in the comments which show you think was the worst. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you love watching bad TV get roasted. See you in the next video, hopefully with fewer disasters and more classics.